Yeah, I wanted to say, welcome back, another episode, Don Boy 718. Last night was some games. It was about six good games in the NBA. You had the New Orleans Pelicans. They destroyed the Toronto Raptors 138 to 100. And my boy Brandon Ingram came off with that 41 points. That had a lot to do with it. And I support RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett was a good dude. He played for the New York Knicks, gave us some years. Emmanuel quickly over there in that Toronto flavor. It's the new Toronto, and they don't have Pascal Siakam, Van Vliet, nobody really from that championship team that had Kawhi Leonard there. But Brandon Ingram and Zion Williamson, these boys on the New Orleans Pelicans are trying to figure it out. And my man had 41 to figure it out last night. He went ham on them. They blew him out, destroyed him, 138 to 100. Could have been 40, but it was 38. That's close enough. And with the Clippers, and I'm looking at these guys, they playing against the Atlanta Hawks. I'm an Atlanta Hawks fan because my family, we love Georgia. So Trae Young, he did what he could, but Kawhi Leonard and James Harden were both lit. They both had over 30. Kawhi Leonard had 36 points, and James Harden had 30 points and 10 assists. That's why they won 149 to 144, because Trae Young had 25 points and 12 assists. He could not do it alone, even though DeJounte Murray and the guys, they were there, they were fighting, but it wasn't enough, So it got them over the edge. They did what they had to do, and the win went to the Los Angeles Clippers. The Los Angeles Clippers, along with the New York Knicks, have been one of the hottest teams in the league like these last 2 months. Really consistent. And it looks good, a new home for James Harden, and he's proven the naysayers wrong because they said he couldn't find a home and relax. He's, just too much of a, a hot seat. You got to get up, keep moving around. Now, the the Golden State Warriors played the Brooklyn Nets last night. They only won by 11, 109 to 98. The game was a lot closer than it seemed because in the fourth quarter, Brooklyn had to kind of try to put the defense clamps on so they can try to get to the Super Bowl. Not the Super Bowl, but to the playoffs. Get back their number 9 spot that they had currently. They've been going back and forth with Atlanta and a couple of other teams in that 9th and 10th spot. So I like to see the Brooklyn Nets with more consistency. They were doing some things before, but now with Jonathan Kuminga, he's been stepping it up lately, playing like an all-star for the Golden State Warriors. This man had 28 points and 10 rebounds last night. God was doing his thing. I'm going to just say that the team had 72 points in the paint. Why did Brooklyn give up 72 points in the paint? That's way too much. You take 72 points in the paint alone, add that with some free throws, damn near 100 right there. So Jonathan Kuminga, and with hot shooting Steph Curry, the Smash Brothers over there, Klay Thompson played last night, Draymond Green was there. They had some parts of the game where it got kind of nasty, and Draymond Green, he gave a shoulder bump to Nick Claxton after Nick Claxton, he think he did the rookie wrong. They thought Nick Claxton was being a little bully, but he wasn't. The situation, you guys probably seen it on ESPN already by now. But Nick Claxton, he had a little situation with the homie over there. I think Pete Monsky, guy got a funny name. I'll have it for you later. But Nick Claxton had a little situation with him. It wasn't serious. They ejected Nick Claxton from the game. They called it a flagrant 2. And Draymond and these guys, they had something to say about that. They didn't like that. But it didn't go too controversial because the referees were allowed to handle that, and they did that. The Mavericks last night, Dallas Mavericks playing the Philadelphia 76ers. No Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid has been out for a little while now. Tyrese Maxey on Thursday had 51 points, holding it down for Philadelphia while Joel Embiid was not there and got them that 3-point win over the Utah Jazz. But last night, the Dallas Mavericks and Kyrie Irving, they was lit. Kyrie Irving was getting real busy last night and making it happen. I think he had 23 and 8. I stopped counting his stats after a while when he was at 23-8. But I know he was getting busy. He had a great game, floor general. You know what Kyrie Irving can do. Luka Doncic had 19 points, and I think Tyrese Maxey for the Philadelphia 76ers had about 15 points, 7 assists, something like that. But it wasn't nowhere near that 51 that he had on Thursday. So they wasn't a match for the Dallas Mavericks at all. And without Joel Embiid, they didn't have enough manpower or enough push to get that win. LeBron James and AD, they were handling their business last night against the Charlotte Hornets and Brandon Miller. Brandon Miller, this the guy. Remember Brandon Miller when he was first drafted top 3 in the NBA draft last year. He said that he was going to guarantee a championship in Charlotte, but he just really wanted that attention to promote his brand over in Charlotte. That's what it was. A young guy with a lot of steam, a lot of belief in himself, and he was ready to go. Check that out. But it wasn't happening last night with AD having a triple-double. Anthony Davis was getting busy down there like a big man. Anthony Davis has been balling this season and doing things better than folks surprisingly thought that he would, because they were writing off Anthony Davis. Like, what kind of big man is he? He's not going to be the future of the LA Lakers or to hold that team down. But LeBron is there. LeBron said that he's trying to give the reins to Anthony Davis because it's going to be his team. That I don't know if that means LeBron's leaving soon. More than likely he is. How much more you think he have in the gas tank there? He said he want to play with his son Bronny, and Bronny or Bryce, they'll soon be at a point where the NBA draft is going to be calling. The future is going to be calling, so we'll see what happens with that. Last game, the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Sacramento Kings. Cleveland tried to do what they can do, and they got busy. It worked. They took out the Sacramento Kings 136 to 110 last night. Sabonis had a triple-double. De'Aaron Fox had 19 points last night. That was all great and gravy normally, because these guys are spectacular with what they've been doing and the way they've been, turning on the lights over there in Sacramento. But I'm going to tell you like this. Donovan Mitchell had 29 points last night to lead the Cleveland Cavaliers, along with Jarrett Allen, who should be a considered replacement for Joel Embiid in the All-Star game, because Jarrett Allen has been having one of his best seasons, if not his best season. The guy is there, playing the 5 spot for Cleveland. Why not put him in there with his teammate Donovan Mitchell? They both doing good. In Cleveland last night, they had a franchise record. The most they ever, second place. They had 23 3-pointers, 23 out of 41, and they shot 56% last night. 56% is like, that's half of the shots. That's more than half, just slightly over 6% over half. So that means they were barely missing, and they was on point last night, giving the business to Sacramento Kings, jumping on them early, because them young boys, you get them some time or some space, they will try to eat you up. But it didn't happen last night, because that young Cleveland team, they wanted that bread. They wanted to eat more than that young Sacramento Kings team. Beautiful sports news. Anything else added to that? I just want to say Brian Bieniemy is no longer with the Washington Commanders. They made some changes over there. The Washington Commanders, they decided that they were going to go in a different direction. So they might look at Brad Johnson as being the defensive coordinator, or however way they work that out. But I do know that for a fact, Dan Quinn, the former head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, this man is the new appointed head coach of the Washington Redskins. So we'll see what they're going to be like next year. And I appreciate y'all for listening and for checking us out. Don Boy 718.